Welcome. In this video, I will test whether a lot of temporary files and registry junk can slow down a modern Windows 10 computer. To ensure Windows search indexing isn't affecting the results, I'm going to disable the indexing. The first test is done using VirtualBox Virtual Machine for easier screen capture and easier testing in general. The second test later on in this video is done using a real machine, so we can be sure using a virtual machine isn't affecting the results. I'm restarting the virtual machine just to ensure everything is ready for testing. Now, let's start the computer to get a baseline. How long does the system take to fully start without any temp files or registry junk? I'm also using a stopwatch app to record the time it takes for the system to fully restart. The first measured data point is the time it takes for the desktop to show. In this case, it took us 20 seconds. Next, I'm waiting for the CPU usage to come down to indicate everything has been fully loaded and the computer is ready to be used. In this case, it took 35 seconds. And the last data point is how long it takes to open a web page. Here is our baseline with the freshly installed Windows 10 with all the updates and only Firefox installed. 20 seconds for the desktop to show up, 35 seconds for CPU usage to come down, and a total of 49 seconds for everything. Now, adding junk data to the Windows registry and generating temporary files. Both these scripts I use to generate the test data can be downloaded from our website if you want to test yourself. Now, I'm running the Windows security scan, so that it doesn't begin scanning the newly generated files while we test the system start times. As you can see, this is taking a while, so I'm going to speed this up. Now, let's restart the computer one time to ensure the system is ready. Now, let's restart the computer and measure if it now takes longer to start with all these temp files and registry junk. This seems slower. This is clearly taking a lot longer. Before adding the junk, this system only took 20 seconds to show the desktop. The desktop is still not open. It took 59 seconds just to load the desktop. Now, waiting for the CPU usage to come down. Notice how the task manager is glitching. The performance tab isn't updating properly. Also, the process data in the task manager is glitching. CPU usage is finally down after 87 seconds. The same system without the temp files and registry junk took only 35 seconds to load everything. And lastly, let's check how long it takes to load Reddit again. The website is finally fully loaded and took 107 seconds to start the system, wait to fully load and open a website. Remember, the same system without the temp files and registry junk did all this in just 49 seconds. Now let's test this again, this time with a real computer. Please excuse the video quality though, I'm using a webcam to record the computer screen and my phone as a stopwatch. First we need a baseline, so how long does this computer take to restart? As you can see, The webcam is having trouble recording the bright phone screen on the black computer screen background. It took 28 seconds for Windows to load the desktop. Now, let's wait for the CPU usage to come down. It takes about 55 seconds for the computer to start and for the CPU usage to come down. Next, let's open a website. And the final number is 68 seconds. That's how long it took this computer to fully start and open a website. Now, I'm adding the same registry junk and generating the same temporary data files as before. I'm showing that the Windows file indexing is disabled on both hard drives, which are SSDs. And the Windows search indexing service is also disabled. Now, I'm going to run the Windows Security full scan, just to ensure it won't be affecting the startup speed. This is taking a moment, so I'll speed up the video again. While this runs, I can explain why I'm using two computers. As you can see, it's not trivial to do a video of a computer restarting. I cannot use any screen capture software, and my webcam can't really focus on the screen very well. Recording these types of tests is easier with a virtual machine, but there is a minor risk that running the tests in a VM affects the results. That's why I'm doing this with both a VM and a real computer. We're done. So let's see how long it takes now to start the computer. Similar to the VM, again, the computer seems slower after the junk was added. Before adding the temp files and registry junk, the system took 28 seconds to start the desktop. Now it took 40 seconds to start the desktop. Next, waiting for the CPU usage to come down. This time, the task manager doesn't seem to be glitching as it did with the virtual machine. It took 74 seconds for the computer to start and the CPU usage to come down. Before adding the temp files and registry junk, it took only 55 seconds. And lastly, waiting for the computer to open a website. If you want to see more content like this, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.